Hey guys, Adam Pratt here. Today I'm going to show you a recently completed custom mantle that we just got done building on a fireplace, actually here at my own house. And I'll show you basically everything on it, but as I was in the middle of building it, I was designing it as I'm physically building it. I asked my wife for some inspiration photos. I wanted to make sure I built something that I knew that she liked. But a lot went into this, even when framing the whole fireplace itself, as we're building it, all the wood framing. I had to think about all of this in advance prior to us building the whole entire fireplace. How to think about everything in mind, so that way we knew the total widths of the finished sheetrock dimensions that we wanted. We wanted to do a recessed TV to create a larger mantle up top. I wanted the recessed TV to be flush with the mantle, so that way this was all one solid piece going all the way through there. So I knew that, okay, I had to figure out all those heights, having to build this the right dimensions to accommodate a 70-inch TV with a sound bar. So having to think about all of those things further in advance when building it. But we went ahead here, the actual fireplace itself, we did go with the Isokern ventless 42-inch fireplace here with the herringbone cream brick inside at a 45-degree herringbone. But here we also have the fireplace itself. So we wanted to make sure that it does look proportionate. It does look to scale. What you do not want is I'm going to step back here a little bit further. I know the scaffold's a little bit in the way, but there we go. So as we were building this, we wanted to make sure everything was, proportionate. There's still more trim that does have to go on, but once the floors are in here, then we are going to do a 12-inch baseboard wrapped around each column on all three sides, the inside, the front here, and the left side. And same with this, all three sides. We'll wrap it with the 1x12. And then with the 1x12, we are going to install a base cap on top. So it is going to create just a nice finished look as well. We are going with a 1x8 baseboard throughout. The 1x8 baseboard will also have a base cap installed on top. So just to kind of show you, I don't know if you can see, I kind of drew in what the baseboard would look like when it's all said and done. So it just creates a really nice reveal having that, the taller baseboard here with the base cap, then that's the base cap there with the baseboard below. So that's a 1x8 with the base cap and then a 1x12. So you're gonna want something like that taller at the bottom. So it really stands out from the rest of the baseboard throughout the house. But we wanted to go with a very nice, clean, simple look. A lot of the times when you do go with a very nice, clean, simple look, it can actually be more intricate, a little bit more involved. But you can see what I did here. I wanted to create this to really look like a solid box. I did build a 2x4 frame here, okay, little 2x4 frame. I kept it off the ground about 1/4 of an inch, even the 2x4 framing itself, just so it wasn't touching. Yes, of course, I could have had it touch the concrete, maybe used a pressure treated, but instead I just left everything off the concrete. By the time we do the floors and then wrap the baseboard around, of course, you'll never see that. But with the 2x4 framing here, I did always take a picture of that. I could always upload that here as well, just to show you what does the 2x4 framing behind the columns in this portion here of the fireplace look like. I will go ahead and post that. But we had 2x4 frame. So the frame is protruding off the wall 3.5 inches total, because that's the size of the 2x4. And then I wrapped it with, this is actually only 1/2-inch material. I went ahead, I purchased a 4x8, a 1/2-inch 4x8 sheet of finished veneer plywood. It's actually already pre-primed. A little bit, especially with today's prices of wood, a little bit less expensive to purchase it that way than buying a pre-primed, 1x10, okay? Instead, I could get a lot more wood out of the one sheet. So I did buy plywood here, and what I went ahead and did, this is actually a mitered joint, even though I'm gonna zoom in there. You can barely tell that's a mitered joint. I mean, very nice. There's even another mitered joint right here. You just can't even tell behind that trim. And then same thing, you'll see another miter joint there. right there going all the way down. Same on this side here. Another miter joint going all the way up. But that's what really creates a clean look. So that way we don't see any unfinished edges of plywood. I did do all of that thanks to this over here. We do have a nice DeWalt job site table saw, which again, I highly recommend. I think DeWalt has some of the best products, and everything I use is in DeWalt. We got the DeWalt miter saw over here. You know, just little things like this. Always nice having all of the DeWalt stuff. Could not have done this fireplace itself without the DeWalt cordless brad nailer. So I do have that with the DeWalt oscillating multi-tool as well. So all of this stuff helps a ton. Having the right tools for the right job just makes it so much more efficient as well. But some finished dimensions here, just so that we can tell some proportionates. I could always pull out the tape measure. Actually, you know what? I left my tape measure over here. So let me get that real quick. I think I left it, I don't know, maybe up here on the staircase, but it's okay. I got another one. Let's grab this one here. Okay. So coming back over, I believe this was 9 inches on the face. I know I did go with the 8-inch reveal all the way around. Right about an 8-inch reveal. Oh yeah, by the time the plywood was on, sorry, it's 7.5. And then same there, I do have about 8 there. Over here on this side, yes, it is 8 over there as well. That's right, nothing was lining up over here. And what it did, I ended up tightening this up because I wanted this mantle to actually end the same distance here as it did on the left end as well. That way everything looked, and that way everything is, you know, centered here. But we have about an 8-inch reveal. Even at the bottom, I went ahead and did that as well. So we have an 8-inch reveal. So even prior to building the isocurn fireplace insert, we had to think about that. You know, the thickness of the fire brick and the mortar, the isocurn. That's why we put these blocks underneath to build it up. So we can get, again, just having to think in advance, but to get that full, you know, 8-inch reveal going around. But the column width itself, I believe we're right at about 9. Yeah, so I did 9 inches on that. The height, because of course the fireplace is a little bit taller, that's about 47 inches. Okay, so it's about 47 inches from here to there, 9 inches there as well. Total mantle width, I believe I did right at about 84. I believe that's what it was. From this tip of the actual mantle, not the sheetrock wall, but the mantle itself was right around there. But I wanted to tie it in with everything. We're doing a nice stairway molding, which I will be doing that in another video. I will be posting that. But this molding here is going to tie in with the stairwell. Then here we have the same crown that we did in the rest of the house. We had that same crown, so bringing it all in together. I did do an upside down base here. I needed to do an upside down base. Purpose of that was to make this look a little bit more proportionate. It got a further projection out. That way that mantle is sticking out further beyond the column. It also makes it look taller, makes the crown look much taller, because everything on this is, I will say, pretty big. You just need to make sure you have the scale right. That's one of the most important things that a lot of people do not think about is the scale. So when designing it, you got to have everything be very proportionate to each other. We got the trim, the upside down base, the crown, and then I ripped here. I wanted this to look 1.5 inches thick. Okay, this is also the same plywood on the top, so that way that's all one piece. That was also purchased. That one 4x8 sheet, 1/2 inch thick, did the whole top, did this whole face here, all 3 sides of the columns, did everything as well, going all the way up. But you can really see what you can do with, I mean, again, that was with all the you know, DeWalt tools, all the miters, everything. Of course, nothing is caulked or nothing. I mean, that's just, and of course, once everything gets caulked, everything will look even a little bit better. But I'm very picky on that stuff, and I want to make sure it looks perfect before it's even caulked. Anyways, so this here, nice fireplace. If you do want to know the height of the mantle, well, let's just see here. I'm going to set this phone aside. I'll go ahead. I'll pull a few measurements for you guys. That way y'all can see. I was trying to get this propped up here. Let's see. Okay, so just a couple measurements. The very top of this, so we have 9-foot ceilings in here, by the way. This is 60.5 inches to the very top of this. The overall size, I think I told y'all 84, it might have been a little bit bigger. Oh, sorry, it was 85 and 5/8. That was by the time this outer trim got put on, brought it to that dimension. And actually the baseboard brought it out a little bit further too. At first I was not going to do the baseboard. I decided to do that as I was looking at the proportions of everything. I saw that we needed it to look a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. So that was something that I did not necessarily plan on in the beginning, but as I was building it, I realized I needed to have something there. Those are some of the differences that you have to do as you're building things to ensure you have that right scale. That is a 7-inch crown, by the way. I do have that there. Again, this is all 2x4s framed behind this. 1/2-inch plywood on top, 1/2-inch plywood. We got the, this is basically a mini chair rail, is really what this is. That's not a base cap, but it's the same similar type profile as a base cap. So it is going to tie in with that. Again, that's going to be the same trim we're going to have here in our stairwell. But even the dimensions up here, I pre-planned for it, again, for this to fit a 70-inch TV as we were building everything. So even when we did all the wood framing of this itself, we had to make sure of all of that. So definitely have to think ahead, look ahead as you're building. Thanks guys for watching, and y'all will see the next video.